Hello and welcome. I'm Master Lama Rasaji, and this is our Wednesday edition of Rasaji Speaks. I hope you rested well. Today's lesson will be formed on the Magi itself. The Magi, the caravan, royalty that will bear witness to this incredible being that was born in Bethlehem, according to Hebrew, house of bread. Very interesting. The Catholic Church says the bread of life that takes away the sins of the world. Sins means to fall short, to take away the short givings of the world. Boy, we can see a lot of that right now, right? Just think about it. When you think about it, it sounds very interesting. So we're being asked here, the Magi, were they there at Jesus's birth? And what did they say to Mary and Joseph? Well, if you remember from yesterday's lesson, and if you didn't hear it, make sure you go back. Of course, they were there when Archangel Gabriel actually tells her that you're not going to conceive God's son, but you're already seated by the giver of life, God's Holy Spirit, and you're already pregnant. She says, how is this possible? I have not known a man. If you understand spiritual purity, you'll know why a special 14, 15-year-old virgin was chosen. That's right. She was very young, but mature in her years, but extremely innocent, right? Is about as perfect of a vessel as you could get. Is about as sinless of a vessel as you can get. That's why the Catholic Church refers to her on assumption of Mary, that she is Queen of Heaven, Queen of the angels. Very powerful, right? See, this is the thing the Catholic Church got very much right. And they'll get everything right, but they got this right big time. And as the church began to splinter over the years and move far away from Mary, well, they moved far away from a lot of things. Because remember what I taught you just a week ago. When you're doing something and you need things to go well for dad, usually you had to go to mom first. Removing Mary as a consult, as a spiritual advisor, as a mediator, as an anointer, as the receptivity, the original grail chalice, if you will, from the church, and act like that she is not important. Well, again, that was part a masculine thing. It was part control. And they wanted to break away the ties to the Eastern culture. And what you can see is that movement began to happen between the 15th and 17th century. Mary got further and further away from the altar. Very interesting when you think about it. How could she, when she's the vessel through what he came in for? So the moment that the Magi knows that she was ready. So you had Melchior, who was the leader, a Tai Chi Gong master of the Lama series on the way to Lamaship. jasper, right, and Belistar, who were adepts on their way to becoming Tai Chi masters. In that process, they had over 30 martial artists, and they appeared to counter them. If you've ever seen old Western movies about how the Native Americans would stalk the settlers to decide whether they were going to attack or keep people from attacking. Yeah, you never heard that part of the story. You only heard the part where always the Indians were attacking. Well, a lot of times they defended as much or more than they did attack, but they isolated themselves to be just barely seen, to be close enough if they were needed to come into the close proximity to protect who they were circling around. Not like a buzzard, but more like a hawk. Not like a buzzard, but more like a hawk. And then what began to happen is they all followed Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem, house of bread. They stayed there and they watched for the birth. Then they reiterated Herod Sr.'s decree about the firstborn child. They reinforced and had contacts in Egypt and already had asylum set up for Mary, Joseph, and the newborn Christ child, Jesus. It's estimated that they spent about 3 to 4 years there. When Jesus is about kindergarten age, then they feel they had heard through messengers, angelic and couriers, that Herod Sr. had passed away, and with him, the decree passed with him. They knew then that the drunken son, Herod Jr., cared very little, worried very little about his monarch being jeopardized like his father did. So they used this moment to make their way back toward Judea. Barak Abishai, may the blessings be as our saga continues. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. God bless.